Hello, I'm Andrew Fryer, and in this demonstration I want to introduce you to Project Atlanta, Microsoft's new cloud-based system for intelligently monitoring your SQL servers in your organisation. A quick search on Bing for Microsoft Project Atlanta gets some interesting results, but down here we have microsoftatlanta.com. If you're a new user, you'll need to create an account. I've already got one set up, so I can just sign in. Although I've used this before, I haven't actually done anything with it, and before I can start to use it, you'll need to go through these steps. So I need to download the registration certificate, which I can do now. I've got a share on my laptop that I can use for this. And I'll also need the setup program as well. Okay, I've pulled those files down. And you can see in the instructions here that the first thing I need to do is to install at least one gateway that's got to be connected to the internet. And as you can see in the notes further down, we don't actually have to have our SQL servers connected to the internet at all for this to work. Following the link, I get a further list of instructions here on what I need to do. For the purposes of this demo, I'm going to install the gateway on my domain controller virtual machine, and in that way I can spin up other virtual machines and get information from them and then report that back on the Atlanta system. So I'm going to go over to my domain controller now and install the gateway. On this machine I'm only going to install the gateway. And the setup will now guide me through that process. First thing it's going to ask me to do is to browse to that certificate. If you have a proxy, you'll need to enter that here as well. I get my confirmation screen and I'm good to go. That's fine, that's finished. And now what I can do is go over to a machine that's got some SQL Server instances on and set up the Atlanta components there. On this machine I'm just going to set up the agent. And notice it's actually installing the System Center Operations Manager 2007 R2 agent when it does this. The gateway server we've selected is the DC I set up just now. And that's now finished. And we're about done. I now go back to Windows 7 client where I started from. You can see that we've gone through this process completely now. We've got a gateway and we've installed an agent on one of our SQL servers. Refreshing this page now gets rid of that warning, and if I go down to servers now, you can see that it's already picked up my Oxford DC Contoso server as a gateway server. Refreshing the servers page now shows up the agent that I've just installed as well. If I go onto here, I start to get some configuration information about what's changed as I set that agent up. But what I really need to do now is let the agents run and to pick up some information and see what Atlanta thinks I need to do to my SQL servers. And I'll look at that in my next demonstration.